Get your daily news fix with Newsworthy's latest edition. February 26, 20. Get your daily news fix with Newsworthy's latest edition. February 26, 2025, featuring crypto, politics, tech, and more. Number 1 hit and more. YouTube music charts, global top songs from February 14 to February 20, 2025. APT features Rose and Bruno Mars. Die with a Smile includes Lady Gaga and Bruno Mars. Not Like Us is by Kendrick Lamar. Aaj Ki Rat is performed by Madhubanti Bagchi and Divya. Spotify Weekly Top Songs Global, from Friday, February 14 to Thursday, February 20, 2025. Die with a Smile by Lady Gaga and Bruno Mars. Luther, featuring SZA, by Kendrick Lamar and SZA. Not Like Us by Kendrick Lamar. APT by Rose and Bruno Mars. Nintendo US Digital Top Sellers starting February 24, 2025. Super Mario Party, Jamboree, Hello Kitty Island Adventure, Minecraft, Stardew Valley. Steam's most popular games. Highlighting the top-selling and most played games worldwide on Steam. Based on the top 100 revenue products list, for Tuesday, February 11, 2025 to Tuesday, February 18, 2025. Counter-Strike 2, Sid Meier's Civilization 7, Monster Hunter Wilds, Kingdom Come, Deliverance 2, Apex Legends. CISA's cybersecurity alerts and advisories. CISA collaborates with ASD's ACSC, CCCS, NCSC UK, and various international and US entities to issue guidance on edge devices. One more drop in the AI ocean. Perplexity AI's R1-1776 is a DeepSeek R1 reasoning model that has undergone additional training to eliminate censorship by the Chinese Communist Party. This model delivers objective, precise, and truthful information while preserving its advanced reasoning skills. The NBA is unveiling physical AI robots at the 2025 All-Star Tech Summit. In the world of baseball, robot umpires are set to undergo their initial trial during the upcoming spring training season. Meanwhile, Tesla has finally rolled out its much-anticipated full self-driving (FSD) features to drivers in China. The Financial Times has reported that China is leveraging its tech talent to accelerate the growth of its AI data center industry. Additionally, Alibaba has announced its intention to invest a substantial $53 billion in artificial intelligence, marking a significant strategic shift for the company. Meanwhile, shares of Siemens Energy and Schneider Electric have experienced a decline following a report indicating that Microsoft has decided to cancel its lease for AI data centers. Google's latest AI video model, Veo 2, is priced at 50 cents for each second of video. The surge in data centers from major tech companies results in pollution that impacts U.S. public health by $5.4 billion annually. China has introduced an underwater computing center capable of equaling the power of 30,000 gaming computers. This subsea data center could support 7,000 DeepSeek conversations every second, according to a report. In Germany, the leader of the Christian Democratic Union, CDU, MERS, is contemplating the possibility of extending the nuclear protection provided by France and Britain to Germany. Additionally, he suggests that Europe might require its own military alliance, separate from NATO, as a potential alternative. Meanwhile, the Swiss army has expressed openness to participating in peacekeeping efforts along the Ukrainian-Russian border. In a related development, Ukrainian President Zelensky has indicated his readiness to relinquish his presidency if it means achieving peace in Ukraine or securing NATO membership for the country. Apple plans to construct artificial intelligence servers in Houston and commit $500 billion to investments in the United States. The company will also establish a 23,200 square meter facility in Texas. Meanwhile, Bird, a Dutch software firm, intends to exit Europe because of stringent AI regulations, according to its CEO. Additionally, OpenAI co-founder Ilya Sutskever's startup is raising funds with a valuation exceeding $30 billion, prompting the Financial Times to remark, pre-product AI company now valued at $30 billion. UAE plans $40 billion investment in Italy, according to Maloney. JP Morgan Chase allocates $50 billion for direct lending in private credit initiative. Saudi Arabia introduces new currency symbol to enhance financial reputation. The shortage of Novo Nordisk's Wegovy and Ozempic medications in the United States has been addressed, according to the FDA. The Cato Institute has declared that surrogacy has emerged as the latest focal point in the ongoing struggle for reproductive freedom. Additionally, an inventor has secured a patent for horse blinders designed for individuals with ADHD. The Yankees have decided to stop playing Frank Sinatra's New York, New York following defeats. Shaun White's new snowboard league is set to visit Aspen and a mountain in China, marking the location where he concluded his career. King Kohli has achieved the record of being the fastest batter to accumulate 14,000 runs in ODI cricket. Apple designer Susan Kerr introduces her NFT Escape keys to Asprey Studio, crafting a collection of iconic keys and jewelry. Chinese television formats are targeting global expansion, as disclosed by industry leaders at MIP London. Major League Baseball and ESPN are terminating their agreement after the 2025 season, with the league citing insufficient coverage. Wiley Journal has withdrawn 26 articles due to issues with the peer review process being compromised. Kim Kardashian is facing a lawsuit after incorrectly identifying a New York man as a death row inmate from Texas on her Instagram account. The New York Times has published an article discussing how human therapists are gearing up to confront artificial intelligence that is attempting to mimic their roles. Fossil tour guide finds enormous, purple dinosaur footprint on a UK beach. Larger animals face increased cancer risk, yet they have developed superior defenses. Amazing find reveals mice attempting to resuscitate fallen companions. Gmail plans to transition from SMS authentication to using QR codes. Microsoft is experimenting with offering free Office for Windows applications that include advertisements. Dow Jones has broadened its AI marketplace to encompass almost 5,000 publishers. Netanyahu declares that Israel will not permit Syrian military presence in areas located south of Damascus. A prominent Hamas leader expresses regret, stating he would not have supported the attacks on October 7 if he had foreseen the severe repercussions for Gaza. In an AI-generated video, Trump outlines his Trump-Gaza vision, emphasizing the elimination of tunnels and the eradication of fear. The United States casts its vote alongside Russia, North Korea, and Belarus against a United Nations resolution concerning the Ukraine war. Conversely, the UN dismisses a U.S. resolution that calls for an end to the conflict without acknowledging Russian aggression. Meanwhile, President Putin emphasizes the importance of Europe in discussions about Ukraine but indicates that a resolution remains far off. In Washington, former President Trump and French President Macron meet, with Europe urging ongoing support for Ukraine. Reportedly, Macron advises Trump to exercise caution during negotiations aimed at concluding Russia's war in Ukraine. Warner Bros. Has decided to shut down Monolith Productions and the studio responsible for Multiversus, and has also cancelled the Wonder Woman game. In other news, Call of Duty has acknowledged the use of generative AI to assist in the creation of certain in-game assets, which explains the subpar quality of some calling cards. Meanwhile, Ubisoft has issued an apology for promotional material related to Assassin's Creed Shadows that has raised concerns within the Japanese community, assuring that the RPG will continue to evolve until its release. Bybit CEO confirms closing ETH gap, exchange back to 100% reserves after record $1.5 billion hack. North Korean hackers steal record $1.5 billion in single crypto hack, security firm says. OKX pleads guilty to violating U.S. anti-money laundering laws and agrees to pay penalties totaling more than $500 million. China advisor advocates reducing the legal marriage age to 18 to increase the birth rate. Iraq's first census in nearly 40 years recorded 46.1 million people. South Korea's birth rate increases for the first time in 9 years, with a rise in marriages. Right-to-repair laws have now been introduced in all 50 U.S. states. Trump orders investigation into possible tariffs on copper. In the U.S., ISPs fear wave of state laws after New York's $15 broadband mandate. Research indicates that the incidence of cardiac arrest among athletes remained unchanged throughout the pandemic period. Another study reveals that the process of brewing tea has the capability to eliminate heavy metals present in water. Additionally, it has been discovered that natural antioxidants found in various foods might potentially mitigate the reproductive damage caused by microplastics. Trump reportedly cancels order on rights abuses linked to U.S.-supplied weapons. Iran displays new weapons made domestically during military exercise. Keir Starmer plans to increase UK's defence budget to 2.5% of GDP by £13 billion, reducing international aid, to confront figures like Putin before meeting Donald Trump. UN nature talks, which have been delayed, are set to resume in Rome for a 3-day intensive session. A newly approved tartan design honours individuals persecuted under Scotland's Witchcraft Act. According to Bloomberg, Apple plans to continue its diversity, equity, and inclusion (DEI) initiatives, despite some potential modifications, as shareholders vote against a proposal to eliminate the DEI program. Trump's approval rating stands at 52% following his initial month in office. An AI-generated video depicting Trump engaging in an inappropriate act with Musk was controversially displayed on government office televisions. Musk has committed to addressing issues with X after surveys indicated strong backing for Ukraine's President Zelensky. DBS CEO anticipates reducing 4,000 temporary positions as AI takes over certain roles. Chegg initiates legal action against Google, alleging that its AI search tool impedes user traffic. A group of 1,000 artists launches a silent album to demonstrate against the UK's copyright concessions to AI. The U.S. economy is increasingly reliant on wealthy individuals, with households earning $250,000 or more playing a significant role. Meanwhile, 21 Doge staff members have resigned, expressing their refusal to assist in the dismantling of public services. The Atlantic has recently noted that Doge possesses God mode access to government data. Additionally, SCMP reported that China's advancements in high-tech are altering global politics, prompting the U.S. and its allies to form a balancing coalition, according to a study. Viral fake videos depict Trump kissing Musk's feet following a HUD TV protest, where an AI-generated video reportedly showed Trump kissing Elon Musk's feet in the HUD building. A Russian court fined the son of an oligarch more than all the money in the world on Twitch. Documents reveal that Sakharov smuggled his Nobel Prize speech to Oslo using an embassy ploy, 50 years later. China's President Xi reaffirms a no-limits partnership with Putin during a call on the Ukraine war anniversary. The World Bank released an updated Ukraine recovery and reconstruction needs assessment on December 31, 2024, estimating the total reconstruction and recovery cost in Ukraine at $524 billion, €506 billion, over the next decade. This figure is about 2.8 times the estimated nominal GDP of Ukraine for 2024. Some have remarked that USAID was an instrument of American imperialism, suggesting that Trump will discover a method to replace it. VPN providers consider exiting France over dangerous blocking demands. U.S. employee screening giant DISA says hackers access data of more than 3M people. GOP email system infiltrated by Chinese hackers last summer, new book reveals. Lucasfilm president criticized by Musk announces resignation. 8 months prior, Elon Musk criticized Lucasfilm's president for being woke, claiming she is more deadly than the Death Star. According to reports, nearly 40% of contracts cancelled by Musk's Doge are anticipated to result in no savings. Paramount and Trump are looking for a mediator in the CBS News lawsuit. Russia has expressed willingness to engage in economic collaboration with the United States regarding rare earth minerals and energy resources. Additionally, Russia has proposed a rare minerals agreement to the U.S., which includes deposits located in areas of Ukraine that are under Russian control. Meanwhile, Tesla's sales in Europe have experienced a significant decline of 45%, attributed to Elon Musk's involvement in political matters. In a related development, Fox News reported that Senator Chris Coons has criticized Trump's economic policies, suggesting they are contributing to rising costs in America. Rover recently discovered evidence of vacation-style beaches on Mars. Additionally, the Curiosity rover has spotted ancient water ripples on Mars, suggesting a history of shallow, ice-free lakes. In the Planetary Parade 2025, a rare 7-planet alignment will occur on February 28, an event not expected again until 2040. Furthermore, China is constructing a space telescope to compete with the JWST, which may have a longer lifespan in orbit. Apple announces it is addressing an iPhone dictation issue where the word Trump is mistakenly recognized instead of racist. Google has been unsuccessful in its legal battle regarding Android Auto Access, which could have negative implications for major tech companies. Denmark plans to prohibit mobile phones in educational institutions and after-school activities. Google provides the Gemini AI coding tool at no cost, featuring a capacity that is almost limitless. Perplexity introduces Comet, a web browser driven by AI with agentic capabilities. Meta is exploring an AI data center initiative that might have a price tag of $200 billion. The complete cast for the He-Man reboot and Masters of the Universe has been disclosed. George R.R. Martin has indicated that a movie adaptation of Elden Ring might be possible. The sequel to Leaving Neverland, titled Surviving Michael Jackson, is set to debut on YouTube in the United States. ProPublica notes that while Facebook is moving away from fact-checking, it is also providing incentives for content that goes viral. A U.S. judge has ruled that Trump Media and Rumble are not required to comply with a Brazilian order they consider to be censorship. Reason argues that the FTC should not attempt to ensure that social media platforms are fair. Trump suggests a $5 million gold card for obtaining U.S. citizenship. According to a poll, 71% of Trump voters are against cuts to Medicaid. A Canadian petition seeking to revoke Elon Musk's citizenship has collected over 250,000 signatures. The Indian technology sector is expected to grow significantly in the fiscal year 2025, surpassing $300 billion in the fiscal year 2026, according to NASCOM. Meanwhile, Meta is required to address a lawsuit alleging it favors less expensive foreign workers. Additionally, DOJ is reportedly utilizing artificial intelligence to evaluate the responses of federal employees who were instructed to justify their positions via email, and it is working on software that automates the termination of government workers. Musk starts testing Starlink terminals in the U.S. airspace system following the FAA contract, which raises new conflict of interest concerns. Nikkei reports that the global tech industry is preparing for a China shock in mature chips. UNICEF is implementing machine learning to enhance vaccination efforts in Africa. MongoDB acquires Voyage AI for $220 million to enhance AI search capabilities. Grok introduces a new unhinged voice mode that includes cursing, screaming, and simulating phone sex. Pew reveals that U.S. workers are more apprehensive than optimistic about the future impact of AI in the workplace. Ukraine is set to reach an agreement with the United States regarding the terms of a minerals deal, following President Zelensky's acceptance of the U.S. proposal after former President Trump withdrew his previous demands. Meanwhile, a White House official is advocating for the removal of Canada from the Five Eyes intelligence alliance. Additionally, the Department of Homeland Security has announced a new registry for undocumented immigrants, requiring them to provide fingerprints, with penalties such as fines and imprisonment for non-compliance, as former President Trump plans to enforce this measure. The fire crisis has spread from Los Angeles to Latin America, affecting countries from Mexico to Argentina. In particular, Argentinian Patagonia is experiencing its most severe forest fires in the past 30 years. Meanwhile, BP is anticipated to abandon its renewables target as it reorients towards fossil fuels. Additionally, U.S. officials have been missing from international climate forums during the Trump administration's second term. Alibaba has released its AI model for video and image generation to the public. Microsoft Copilot provides free voice and one-powered Think Deeper features. The Financial Times highlights a rise in UK university students using AI for assignments, with universities advised to evaluate their assessments as 92% of students utilize AI, and the HEPI/Cortex AI survey reveals a dramatic surge in the adoption of generative AI tools by students. Get your daily news fix with NewsSource Scrawler's latest edition. February 22, 2025, featuring crypto, politics, tech, and more. Number 1 hit and additional songs. YouTube Music Charts, Global Top Songs from February 7 to February 13, 2025. APT, collaboration by Rose and Bruno Mars. Die With a Smile, joint work by Lady Gaga and Bruno Mars. Not Like Us, track by Kendrick Lamar. AAJ Key Rat, performance by Madhubanti Bagchi and Divya. Spotify Weekly Top Songs Global, from Friday, February 7 to Thursday, February 13, 2025. Die With a Smile by Lady Gaga and Bruno Mars, Not Like Us by Kendrick Lamar, Luther, with SZA, by Kendrick Lamar and SZA, APT by Rose and Bruno Mars. Nintendo US Digital Top Sellers as of February 18, 2025. Hello Kitty Island Adventure, Super Mario Party, Jamboree, Minecraft, Stardew Valley. Steam's most popular games. Discover the globally top-selling and top-played titles on Steam. Based on the top 100 revenue products list, for the period from Tuesday, February 4, 2025, to Tuesday, February 11, 2025. Kingdom Come, Deliverance 2, Counter-Strike 2, Sid Meier's Civilization 7, Monster Hunter Wilds, PUBG, Battlegrounds, Marvel Rivals. CISA's cybersecurity alerts and advisories. CISA collaborates with ASD's ACSC, CCCS, NCSC UK, and various international and US entities to issue guidance on edge devices. One more drop in the AI ocean. StepFun AI Step Video T2V. Videos are depicted using a highly compressed video VAE, reaching spatial compression ratios of 16 by 16 and temporal compression ratios of 8x. User prompts are transformed using 2 bilingual pre-trained text encoders to accommodate both English and Chinese languages. A DIT model with 3D full attention is trained through flow matching and utilized to eliminate input noise into latent frames, with text embeddings and time steps acting as conditioning elements. To improve the visual quality of the generated videos, a video-based DPO technique is implemented, which successfully diminishes artifacts and guarantees smoother, more realistic video results. Reuters states that the United States will not support a United Nations motion endorsing Ukraine, and a press conference between Zelensky and Donald Trump's Ukraine envoy is called off at the U.S. request. In the United Kingdom, Farage asserts that Zelensky is not a dictator and advises that Trump should not be taken literally. The Hill suggests that the United States might abandon Ukraine in a manner similar to how France and Britain abandoned Czechoslovakia. Reuters indicates that Trump's deportation rate was lower than Biden's during his final year in office. CBS attorneys announced plans to request Donald Trump's personal financial details if his 60 Minutes lawsuit advances to the discovery stage. George Clooney criticizes the Biden administration for being poor at explaining our global economy, while Fox claims Clooney acknowledges the media's failure to report on Biden's alleged incapacities. A Gallup survey reveals that almost 10% of U.S. adults now identify as LGBTQ. Last year, Gallup reported that LGBTQ+ identification in the U.S. had reached 7.6%. An analysis indicates that sepsis rates have risen in Texas following the abortion ban. A Chinese research team has discovered a novel bat coronavirus that may potentially infect humans through the same transmission pathway as COVID-19. Amazon is set to acquire creative control of the James Bond franchise from the Broccoli family, and Jeff Bezos is seeking input from social media to help select the next James Bond following the surprising acquisition by Amazon Studios. Additionally, Benson Boone's song Beautiful Things has been the best-selling single globally in 2025. Furthermore, Netflix plans to invest $1 billion in Mexico over the next 4 years to produce films and television shows within the country. Scented products contribute to indoor air pollution at levels similar to that of car exhaust. In a related development, New York has initiated legal action against vape distributors, accusing them of exacerbating the teen vaping epidemic through the sale of Elf Bar and other e-cigarettes with fruit and candy flavors. Additionally, Asus has introduced a new product called the Fragrance Mouse, which is a wireless mouse that emits scents. Indonesia anti-graft body arrests senior opposition official. In the US, Supreme Court rejects Holocaust survivors' suit against Hungary. Hong Kong's last major pro-democracy party moves to disband. Ivory Coast assumes control of the final French military base as French forces withdraw, according to the defense minister, who also states that France will retain 80 military personnel in the country. Kyrgyzstan and Tajikistan have reached an agreement to resolve a long-standing border conflict. Azerbaijan has mandated the cessation of BBC News broadcasts in Azerbaijani within Baku. CNN states that Trump aims to eliminate the IRS and substitute it with tariffs. The FTC chair appointed by Trump initiates a significant inquiry into big tech for alleged bullying and censorship. Reuters reports that Trump is attempting to transform Asia's energy supplies by introducing U.S. gas. Blocking mobile internet on smartphones enhances sustained attention, mental health, and subjective well-being. Physical activity reduces internet addiction among Chinese college students. The sweetener aspartame worsens atherosclerosis by causing insulin-induced inflammation. There have been observations suggesting that all political parties in Germany, including the Greens, are moving towards the right. A study examining TikTok and X For You feeds in Germany reportedly indicates a far-right political bias in anticipation of the federal elections. Meanwhile, Trump hosted an event for Black History Month, although some agencies chose not to participate following an anti-DEI order. Additionally, French far-right leader Bardella canceled a planned speech in the U.S. after Steve Bannon, a former Trump advisor, made a Nazi gesture at CAC. Mexico's president has declared that the country will not tolerate any perceived invasion by the United States in the ongoing battle against drug cartels. He has pledged to safeguard Mexico's national sovereignty following the U.S. designation of certain cartels as terrorist organizations. In response to these U.S. actions, Mexico is planning to amend its constitution. Meanwhile, Canada has followed the U.S. example by labeling 7 Latin American criminal groups as terrorist entities. Additionally, the CEO of Rotterdam Port has expressed concerns that the port is the most susceptible to potential U.S. energy tariffs. President Donald J. Trump has issued a directive aimed at preventing the unfair exploitation of American innovation, and he has signed an order to protect American companies from what he describes as overseas extortion. ESPN intends to incorporate content created by users into its forthcoming flagship streaming service. Marvel has allegedly changed priorities and halted work on 3 television shows, one of which is a Doctor Strange series featuring Wong. Spotify is reportedly aiming to increase the availability of AI-narrated audiobooks on its platform. The iPhone 15 Pro is set to receive visual intelligence capabilities in an upcoming software update. Additionally, Apple has successfully overturned a blood monitoring patent after appealing the decision. Furthermore, Apple is taking a risk by introducing a new iPhone model, the iPhone 16e, which incorporates AI features at a reduced price. U.S. senators suggest that Ukraine should automatically become a NATO member if Russia breaches the ceasefire. China's foreign minister states that the country backs the recent consensus reached between the U.S. and Russia regarding the Ukraine conflict. The Kremlin announces that President Putin and China's Xi Jinping will discuss the U.S.-Russia talks conducted in Saudi Arabia. Felix AI introduces Helix, a comprehensive vision language action model designed for generalist humanoid control, featuring complete upper body functionality and the ability to work with multiple robots. Clone Robotics presents Protoclone, an android without a face that exhibits lifelike motions and can simulate death if pierced. For the first time, Amazon generates more revenue than Walmart. The United States suggests a UN text for Ukraine that does not mention the occupied territories, which diplomats claim. According to Reuters, the U.S. might restrict Ukraine's access to Starlink internet services due to minerals, as stated by sources. President Trump reverses his stance, stating that Russia attacked Ukraine, and he anticipates a mineral deal soon. Reuters indicates that Russia might agree to release $300 billion in frozen assets as a component of a Ukraine war settlement, according to sources. Coinbase announces that the SEC has consented to dismiss the lawsuit, indicating the conclusion of their legal conflict in the cryptocurrency domain. Additionally, the SEC has granted approval for the first yield-bearing stablecoin, YLDS, which offers an annual percentage rate of 3.85%. Furthermore, the NFT marketplace OpenSea has stated that the SEC is concluding its investigation into their operations. As consumer delinquencies increase, U.S. economic growth is becoming more reliant on the wealthy. A month ago, it was reported that a record number of consumers are making only minimum credit card payments, while delinquencies also rise. Additionally, the IRS has prevented a Musk aide from accessing taxpayer data. Furthermore, the widow of the Barnes & Noble founder is auctioning her $250 million art collection. A proposed bill in California seeks to officially acknowledge Bigfoot as the state's cryptid, marking a significant move toward its recognition. Meanwhile, Elon Musk has labeled a former commander of the International Space Station as an idiot during a heated discussion about astronauts, and following this altercation, Musk has suggested deorbiting the International Space Station. Additionally, research indicates that the Libra memecoin scandal has resulted in a loss of $251 million in investor wealth, with Argentina's crypto controversy affecting Milei and involving an unusual assortment of individuals. Microsoft CEO Satya Nadella acknowledges that AI is currently producing minimal value. He criticizes AGI milestones as nonsensical benchmark hacking, suggesting that AI agents could only manage a Fortune 500 company with a sandboxed assurance. The New York Times notes that AI is driving an evolution, not extinction, for coders. Meta asserts that torrenting pirated books is not illegal without evidence of seeding, and also states that it ensured not to seed any pirated books. OpenAI has taken action by removing users from China and North Korea who are believed to be involved in harmful activities. Additionally, OpenAI has discovered new Chinese influence campaigns that are utilizing its tools. Meanwhile, in Australia, the Parliament has approved a groundbreaking framework aimed at preventing scams. In the United States, the Securities and Exchange Commission, SEC, has established a new unit dedicated to safeguarding investors from fraud in the cryptocurrency and artificial intelligence sectors. Japan is reportedly looking for Tesla to invest in Nissan, while Foxconn is said to be reaching out to Honda. Xpeng, a Chinese electric vehicle manufacturer, plans to expand its global market presence to 60 locations by 2025, according to the CEO. The U.S. government is reportedly removing electric vehicle chargers from all federal buildings, citing them as not mission-critical. Philippines removed from FATF gray list as Laos, Nepal added to watch list. Ghost ransomware has hit firms in over 70 countries, FBI and CISA warn. Bybit hit by crypto's worst hack with almost $1.5 billion stolen. A justice from Brazil's Supreme Court has issued a nationwide suspension order for Rumble, citing alleged non-compliance with regulations. Meanwhile, Apple is in the process of removing iCloud's end-to-end encryption features in the United Kingdom, following pressure from the government to include backdoors. Additionally, a significant collection of leaked chat logs from the Black Bosta ransomware group has been revealed, shedding light on the gang's main members and the victims they have targeted. Microsoft has introduced a new AI agent capable of managing software and robots. Meanwhile, AI startup DeepSeek plans to release 5 code repositories next week to promote full transparency. Additionally, AI has successfully addressed a superbug issue in just 2 days, a task that previously took scientists years to accomplish. NASA's Webb telescope displays quick light show from Milky Way's central black hole. South Sudan shuts schools for 2 weeks due to heat wave. New York Times notes, lacking support from Egypt or Jordan, Trump seems to retreat from his Gaza plan. Trump recently mentions he hasn't reviewed Egypt's response to his Gaza plan. Tim Cook allegedly informs Trump that Apple plans to invest hundreds of billions in the United States, expressing a desire to avoid tariffs. Japan cautions about the potential impact of China's export controls on chip materials. It is reportedly stated that Trump's tariffs aim at $29.3 billion worth of EU steel and aluminium.
Get your daily news fix with News Source Scrawler's latest edition, February 20th, 2025, featuring crypto, politics, tech, and more. Number 1 hit and additional songs. YouTube music charts. Global top songs from February 7th to February 13th, 2025. APT. Collaboration by Rose and Bruno Mars. Die with a Smile, joint work by Lady Gaga and Bruno Mars. Not Like Us. Track by Kendrick Lamar. AJ Key Rat. Performance by Madhu Banti Bagshi and Divya. Spotify Weekly Top Songs Global. From Friday, February 7th to Thursday, February 13th, 2025. Die with a Smile by Lady Gaga and Bruno Mars. Not Like Us by Kendrick Lamar. Luther with SZA by Kendrick Lamar and SZA. APT. By Rose and Bruno Mars. Nintendo US digital top sellers as of February 18th, 2025. Hello Kitty Island Adventure, Super Mario Party Jamboree, Minecraft, Stardew Valley. Steam's most popular games. Discover the globally top-selling and top-played titles on Steam. Based on the top 100 revenue products list, for the period from Tuesday, February 4th, 2025, to Tuesday, February 11th, 2025. Kingdom Come, Deliverance 2, Counter-Strike 2, Sid Meier's Civilization 7, Monster Hunter Wilds, PUBG, Battlegrounds, Marvel Rivals. CISA's cybersecurity alerts and advisories. CISA collaborates with ASD's ACSC, CCCS, NCSC UK, and various international and US entities to issue guidance on edge devices. One more drop in the AI ocean. StepFun AI's Step Video, T2V. Videos are depicted using a highly compressed video VAE, reaching spatial compression ratios of 16 by 16 and temporal compression ratios of 8x. User prompts are transformed using two bilingual pre-trained text encoders to accommodate both English and Chinese languages. A DIT model with 3D full attention is trained through flow matching and utilized to eliminate input noise into latent frames, with text embeddings and timesteps acting as conditioning elements. To improve the visual quality of the generated videos, a video-based DPO technique is implemented, which successfully diminishes artifacts and guarantees smoother, more realistic video results. Aerobic exercise for 30 minutes improves cognitive function in people with ADHD, according to a study. Early trial results suggest mRNA vaccines could be effective against pancreatic cancer. Recent research connects the NOVA1 protein to the origins of human language. A greater number of migrants does not necessarily lead to an increase in crime, according to a German institute. Costa Rica plans to accept Central Asian and Indian migrants deported by the United States. In January, the U.S. Border Patrol apprehended 29,000 migrants illegally crossing the Mexico border, marking the lowest figure since May 2020. Pro-Russian hackers target Italian websites following the president's comparison of Ukraine's invasion to Nazi actions. An expert warns that Donald Trump may have given Vladimir Putin the green light to strike London, Paris, or Brussels. Wang states that China endorses all peace initiatives in Ukraine and that Gaza should not be used as a bargaining chip. Nike collaborates with Kim Kardashian's shapewear brand, Schemes, aiming to expand its reach to more women. Coca-Cola ventures into the fashionable prebiotic soda sector with the launch of Simply Pop. HP plans to acquire portions of the Humane AI pin startup from former Apple executives for $116 million. Additionally, all of Humane's AI pins will cease functioning in 10 days, as the $700 AI pin is discontinued and rendered obsolete after less than a year. President Trump has issued an executive order asserting authority over autonomous government agencies. In Cambodia, lawmakers have enacted a new law prohibiting the denial of the Khmer Rouge genocide. Meanwhile, the president of Colombia has claimed that there was a conspiracy to shoot down his aircraft using missiles. South Africa's minister has declared that the country is open to receiving bids for its nuclear project from any nation, including Russia and Iran. The Brazilian government has decided that Brazil will join the OPEC Plus forum. The European Union has imposed new sanctions on Russia, specifically targeting aluminum production and ships associated with the Shadow Fleet. Director Brady Corbett claims he earned absolutely no money from his Oscar-nominated film, The Brutalist. The Chinese film Neza 2 has achieved the status of the highest-grossing animated film worldwide. Daniel Craig has decided to withdraw from his role in the DC Studios' war movie, SGT, Rock. South Korea is prepared to accept North Korean prisoners of war, according to its government's communication with Ukraine. Meanwhile, former President Trump has labeled Ukrainian President Zelensky a dictator, as their relationship becomes strained over the Russia-Ukraine conflict. Trump also asserts that Russia holds the advantage in negotiations regarding Ukraine. In a related development, Russian President Putin emphasizes that Ukraine will not be excluded from peace talks, but he stresses that trust between the US and Russia is crucial for achieving a resolution. Trump claims Elon Musk's $10 million settlement in the Twitter lawsuit was significantly reduced. In Argentina, the Milei crypto scandal expands with accusations against his sister, Karina Milei, who is now the latest administration official involved in Cryptogate. Argentina's Milei is under investigation for fraud after promoting a crypto coin that failed shortly after its release. A report reveals that Libra co-creator boasted about compensating Javier Milei's sister for a token post. Brazil's ex-president Bolsonaro faces charges related to an alleged coup plot involving poisoning Lula, while Trump Media Group files a lawsuit against a Brazilian judge considering Bolsonaro's arrest. China's clean energy investments are approaching the level of global fossil fuel investments, according to researchers. Researchers have determined that carbon capture is more expensive than transitioning to renewable energy sources. The SS United States has set sail from Philadelphia on a journey to transform into the world's largest artificial reef. Trump claims he would have faced a very difficult life had he not won the election. Journalists initiate legal proceedings against the Italian government regarding allegations of spyware. Nationwide Dark Indonesia protests occur as students demonstrate against Prabowo's policies. Russian wealth fund chief claims U.S. businesses lost $300 billion by exiting Russia, and he praises Trump as a problem solver before Riyadh talks, anticipating U.S. company returns in 2025. Trump, with you could have made a deal, accuses Ukraine following U.S.-Russia talks, while Zelensky calls for more truth after Trump implies Ukraine initiated the war. Russia asserts NATO states cannot enforce Ukraine peace, demands the membership pledge be removed, as Lavrov refutes the three-point peace plan and cautions against Western peacekeepers in Ukraine. The White House has released a video showing immigrants in shackles and humorously referred to the deportation footage as ASMR. Meanwhile, French lawmakers are considering a ban on headscarves in sports, a move that Amnesty International criticizes as discriminatory. Additionally, the BBC has issued an apology and provided further clarification for a Gaza documentary that included the son of a Hamas minister, following significant backlash. Binance US has restarted fiat deposits and withdrawals for the first time in 2 years following the SEC lawsuit. According to Chain Analysis, Iranians are increasingly turning to cryptocurrency due to geopolitical tensions, while international sanctions are impacting Russia's military operations. Ethereum transaction fees have decreased by 70%, reaching their lowest point since 2020. Doge asserts it discovered $4.7 trillion in treasury payments that are untraceable. 6 days prior, Musk stated that individuals aged 150 are receiving Social Security benefits, and Doge claims to save $8 billion on a contract valued at just $8 million. A federal judge has declined to immediately halt Elon Musk and Doge from accessing federal data or conducting worker layoffs, as Judge Chutkan dismisses the request from Democratic AGs for a temporary restraining order to prevent Doge from accessing federal data. An Elon Musk staffer developed a Doge AI assistant aimed at making the government less dumb. Small earthquakes found deep within Greenland's ice sheet may alter sea level rise forecasts. According to a study, researchers in China create nickelate high-temperature superconductors under normal atmospheric pressure. For the first time, teleportation is accomplished between quantum computers. Meta's WhatsApp is encountering stricter regulations from the EU, with its user base exceeding 45 million each month. Meanwhile, Niantic, the developer of Pokémon Go, is close to a $3.5 billion agreement to sell its games division. Additionally, the New York Post has highlighted a new application that provides on-demand personal bodyguards and private motorcades in New York City. Nokia has prepared its cellular network for the moon, as Intuitive Machines finishes the last steps in installing the lunar lander. Meanwhile, Chinese researchers have created an injection designed to extend the lifespan of batteries used in smartphones and electric vehicles. Additionally, Microsoft has introduced the Majorana 1 chip, which is set to revolutionize quantum computing by addressing significant, industry-level challenges within a few years rather than decades. This chip is unique in its ability to monitor and manage Majorana particles, rather than the electrons as traditional. Valve has introduced the Team Fortress 2 SDK, allowing developers to create entirely new games using TF2 as a foundation. Jumbo Kakshur, a card from MTG's Final Fantasy crossover, has been released and is legal for standard play, featuring an impressive 10,000 damage capability. Elon Musk aims to revitalize the gaming industry by establishing an AI gaming development studio. Shift4, a payments processor, is acquiring Global Blue for $2.5 billion. TikTok has been offered $50 billion by U.S. entrepreneur Reed Rassner to purchase the app. Gabby Petito's parents have expressed their views on the controversial use of AI to recreate her voice in a documentary, with some comments suggesting that Gabby Petito's AI voice recreation in Netflix's documentary feels wrong and unnerves me. Australia's central bank reduces interest rates for the first time in over 4 years, indicating economic uncertainties. New Zealand's central bank lowers rates by 50 basis points, signaling a more pronounced easing cycle to stimulate the weak economy. The African Development Bank forecasts a growth rate of 4.1% for the continent. The United States has labeled the Tren de Aragua and other cartels as global terrorist organizations. Mexican president states that U.S. drone flights over Mexican territory are a collaborative effort. It was reported yesterday that the CIA is expanding its secret drone operations over Mexico. In the United States, preliminary data indicate a 16% decrease in homicides in 2024. A UK Paralympian has achieved the historic milestone of becoming the first disabled astronaut to receive approval for a mission to the International Space Station. Physicists have demonstrated that static electricity is influenced by the history of contact between different materials. Meanwhile, the Polish Space Agency is investigating whether an unidentified object is debris from a SpaceX rocket. Egypt has unveiled its first royal tomb discovery since the unearthing of King Tutankhamun's tomb more than 100 years ago, with the long-lost tomb of King Thutmose II finally being found in Luxor. Additionally, a lost masterpiece by Camille Claudel has been sold for $3.8 million at an auction. Meanwhile, the estate of Michael Jackson is in a legal battle with an auction house over the sale of rare, unreleased music, claiming the sale is a sad attempt to mislead the public. This dispute between the auction house and Jackson's heirs has left the future of 12 previously unreleased tracks by Michael Jackson uncertain. Continental, a German company, has declared a reduction of 3,000 positions due to difficulties within the industry. Meanwhile, Tesla is making its entry into India by establishing showrooms in both Delhi and Mumbai, and the hiring process has commenced. Additionally, the United States has overtaken China as Germany's largest individual trading partner in the year 2024. In the United States, housing affordability has become so tight that the conversion of offices into apartments has surged by 484%. Meanwhile, President Donald J. Trump has taken steps to broaden access to in vitro fertilization, IVF. Additionally, the U.S. government has decided to reverse its plan to close down the free COVID test program. Elon Musk hints at the possibility of distributing Doge dividend checks, which might amount to $5,000 for each household. Meanwhile, Steve Bannon labels Musk as a parasitic illegal immigrant, and a sign expressing disdain for him is displayed in the window of a Tesla dealership. Additionally, a report indicates that approximately 25% of American shoppers have abandoned their preferred stores due to political disagreements, as revealed by a poll. Furthermore, Gallup reports that Donald Trump's job approval rating stands at 45%, while Congress's approval rating has increased to 29%. Meta is taking legal action against an individual accused of violent extortion for allegedly holding Instagram accounts captive. Additionally, it has been reported that hackers aligned with Russia are focusing on Signal users by distributing QR codes that link devices. Furthermore, a UK MP has issued a warning that Chinese components in smart devices could present a sabotage risk to the country. In the United States, the State Department has instructed the cancellation of news subscriptions globally. Meanwhile, Commerce Secretary Lutnick has stated that Trump's objective is to eliminate the IRS. Additionally, Trump has remarked that he would have led a very nasty life had he lost the election, and he has suggested distributing 20% of his Doge savings to American citizens. Russia and the United States are considering collaborating on energy projects in the Arctic following discussions with Saudi Arabia. Denmark is set to increase its defense budget by $17 billion to discourage Russian aggression. The Wall Street Journal has noted that Germany's Alternative for Germany, AfD, party is not aligned with American interests. It has been disclosed that AfD's far-right leader, Alice Weidel, engaged in clandestine meetings with a Chinese envoy. Chinese state media has indicated that support for the AfD is rising as the upcoming election approaches. In the United States, the head of Social Security has reportedly resigned due to concerns about the access of recipient information by Doge. Additionally, the head of the food division at the FDA is said to have quit, citing the mass staff cuts during the Trump administration. Allegedly, Doge was involved in the dismissal of FDA employees who were reviewing clinical trials for Elon Musk's Neuralink. This situation has been remarked upon as the Trump administration firing thousands for performance without evidence, in a chaotic and hasty manner, mirroring a common tactic in corporate America. Google has reached a settlement with Italy, agreeing to pay $340 million to resolve a tax evasion investigation. Meanwhile, ByteDance supporters in the United States assert that China's growth will mitigate any potential damage from a TikTok ban. Additionally, the Wall Street Journal has reported on plans for an AI data center in South Korea, which could have up to 3 gigawatts of power. OpenAI has launched the SWE Lancer benchmark, which consists of more than 1,400 freelance software engineering tasks sourced from Upwork. These tasks have a total real-world payout value of $1 million. An AI brain decoder is capable of interpreting a person's thoughts using a brief brain scan and minimal training. The AI revolution spearheaded by China's DeepSeek could potentially increase financial sector profits by up to 13%, according to UBS. In the United States, a severe winter storm has resulted in at least 10 fatalities, with strong winds and heavy snow advancing further east. A study indicates that melting glaciers have contributed to nearly 2 centimeters of sea level rise this century. The Swedish Supreme Court has ruled that Greta Thunberg and other activists are unable to sue the state regarding climate action. Axios states that conservative radio hosts have been invited to broadcast from the Pentagon. Additionally, 55% of digital magazine circulation is sourced from Spotify-like services. Furthermore, Ampere reveals that streamers will allocate $12.5 billion to sports rights in 2025, with DAZN taking the lead. Mushroom fiber might shield against the flu, according to research. Research indicates that college graduates enjoy an astonishing 11-year longer lifespan compared to individuals who never complete high school. Researchers report that life expectancy growth has halted throughout Europe, with England experiencing the most significant decline. Arc Institute's AI model Evo 2 creates the genetic code for all life domains. Microsoft introduces a new generative AI model, Muse, aimed at gaming, potentially bringing back classic games. Researchers discover that Elon Musk's new Grok AI is highly susceptible to hacking. The Last of Us Season 2 receives an official premiere date. SiriusXM extends its podcast subscription to YouTube and Spotify. Sony releases disturbing texts from an ex-Bungie director to female employees in a continuing wrongful termination lawsuit, highlighting Sony's strong defense against the Bungie veterans' claims. AMD might prevent Intel's sale because of a cross-licensing agreement. The Cybertruck is the newest Tesla model to achieve a 5-star crash rating. A 3-year investigation reveals that Mackenzie Scott's $19 billion in charitable donations has had a transformational impact on nonprofits. Synthetic diamonds, featuring a hexagonal lattice, surpass natural diamonds in unparalleled hardness. Dogs tend to blink more frequently when they see other dogs blinking, suggesting a social link. In 2024, 2/3 of the Earth's surface recorded extreme heat levels. Economists predict that China will reduce its benchmark policy rate next month, following the POC's decision to maintain the LPR at its current level. Meanwhile, Hegseth has instructed the Pentagon to identify $50 billion in cuts this year to support Trump's military objectives. Additionally, Australia and Papua New Guinea have committed to finalizing a defense treaty. Macron's mini-summit highlights EU disputes regarding Trump's actions in Ukraine, and France clarifies it is not preparing to send ground troops to the front in Ukraine. Palantir CEO advocates for tech patriotism and cautions about AI warfare. Kazakhstan and Jordan collaborate on uranium research. Lloyds is evaluating the technical abilities of numerous IT employees. Currently, 27% of CFO job postings include AI as a requirement. Meta has revealed